The black woman has come a long way. She is going further and further. But the reality of life is that statistics have proven that women outlive men, despite the fact that we have to bear the children, take care of the home, be psychologists for our family, and all of the pressures that we may have on our society. Black women have seemed to have survived this. White women and black women are now working in a coalition with all women to see that the women's movement gets ahead. Because the reality of life is that our men wouldn't be where they were without the support of good women, whether it's their mothers, their sisters, their wives, their lovers. We were right there all along. And women have been bearing the great brunt of society's burden.
They feel, I could do this, but I don't have. And what they don't know is that they can be in control of the dreams. I spent a lot of time trying to help my students understand that if they were in control and gave themselves permission to be in control, they could finalize their dreams and make them come true.
If you want to say we're minorities, fine. But I tell them every time I'm out, black women have always scrubbed floors. We've always taken care of your kids. We've always had 3 and 4 jobs to do, and then we had to come home and cook a pot of beans for our husbands. You know, so we've had to work hard. You know, we've had to work by the sweat of our brow. You know, we've had to do that. And to me, when I think about that, and I think about dreams, and I think about the black women who are out there picking the cotton and going in, taking care of Mr. John Doe's baby, or Miss John Doe's baby while she's out catching some sun, I think about, Calvinia, you can't stop dreaming, because they dream to get you where you're at. True enough, we all talk about the guy on the horse, you know, the soldier on the horse, or you know who I'm talking about, in the Roman times or whatever. Someone's going to pick us up and take us into ecstasy for the rest of our lives. I don't want that. I want to work. I don't care if he does have money. I want to work because I have a brain.
I mean, we've gone through the period of black studies and all that. That's very good, but I think we need to extend it to a linkage with a culture and with the very best and the very positive in mankind.
I see a lot of young people who come into my court who are charged with drug offenses, drunk driving, and a lot of it's because they just don't know what they're about or why it is they're even getting up in the morning. And a lot of young people, I think, take for granted that when they come into this world, they're entitled to have a car and a computer, and those things are so foreign to my generation where we could expect basically to have very little and to work as hard as we could to get what we needed. I don't know if you recently saw the documentary Eyes on the Prize. It's incredible, but it's wonderful when it talks about and shows graphically the struggle that black people and whites waged in this country in the early 50s for the passage of civil rights acts and to desegregate public accommodations in the schools. And young people today, both black, white, Asian, Mexican, Latino, don't, I think, have a sense of that struggle because they've not been a part of it. Their life hasn't fringed on it at all. And my concern is that my children and other young people have a sense of that struggle. Because with it, you have a sense of purpose. There's a reason to get up in the morning. And I think that what happens is this trickle-down effect is that people grow up thinking, I live in a society that really doesn't care about me or the individual. And for that reason, why am I here? I might as well not do anything, or if I do something, it's going to be to either hurt me, my own interest, or certainly not do anything that's going to be in the interest of society in a whole, because the attitude is, who cares?
I feel the strongest thing I can say is that we have to always get prepared for whatever it is you're going to do. We can't just think it's going to happen. We have to prepare for it. The other thing is, I know a lot of people do diversions, chemical and otherwise, and my contention is that whatever the escape you think is right then, it's going to be there when you get done doing whatever you're doing. And that it's important for us to stay healthy, period. That means not destroying ourselves. And when I see young people without some kind of intestinal fortitude to survive in spite of adversity, that makes me sad. When I look at what we went through 30, 40 years ago, These kids have no notion of that. And they don't, I guess there's a part of me that probably is envious that they're so casual and I had to work so hard. They could outlaw discrimination tomorrow and practice it. And some people, it wouldn't make any difference.
I think that there's a sense that if it's going to take a whole lot of time, well, I don't know that I want to be bothered. And you're right. I mean, the point is, for me to be where I'm at today, I was 19 years of my life spent in school. Okay, first grade, 4 years of college, 3 years of law school. Then I had to put in 6 years practicing, and finally to get to here. And to some people, now someone considerably older than I, they would say, well, that's not a long period of time at all. You're only 37. To somebody who's 12 years old or 15, that seems like a hell of a long time. So, you know, it's all relative, and I guess it depends on from what perspective you're looking at things. But the key is, obviously, if you're a young person who is in elementary school, junior high, high school, and there are certain things you want to do, one has to pay dues.
I've always known what I wanted to do, and so I've been able to pattern everything I've done toward that goal. Along the way, I also took the time to get interested in other things, and I think the best thing to do is to pay your dues. During school, really make an effort, even if you don't, you know, you're not interested in math, you're not interested in science or any of those different things, give it your best shot. You know, take the opportunity to learn Spanish or learn French or learn another language. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
When I started out, I was the only black person in the department, and this was a large department. There were like 20 buyers, 4 expediters, and of course you have your managers, your clerical staff. And it was just something that you didn't see. You didn't see a lot of black people, and especially young black people like myself in those positions.
I wanted to know everything. I mean, everything. And we had a bookmobile that came to our neighborhood, and sometimes I would have the whole thing to myself. And so I would lay full length and read as many books as I could while it was there and check out 5 books. And I would read. I'm the oldest kid of 10, and we lived in a really small place, and so there was not space for, like, there was no hiding space in that house ever. So you had to find it wherever you could, and usually it was at school. So I have a real affection for school being a place of refuge.
I've always had dreams. And I think when you don't have any more dreams, it's as if you are maybe becoming rather complacent in life and stop living. It affects the growth. Me, I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. And I still have dreams. I think dreams are very important in life in general. I would like for all young people to have some dreams, but in addition to having their dreams, I would really want them to believe that their dreams can be true, that they can make those dreams become reality. However, many of them have dreams, and they really don't know that they can be in control of the dreams.
I intermingle with people like you. I'm able to express my thoughts and to say, hey, let's do this, and come up with new ideas. And that, to me, is what life is about, to come up with new ideas and be able to assert those ideas into a reality. To me, that's what Martin Luther King was about. You know, he had a dream, and his dream was to make it into a reality that we are free. Being black is being important, and a lot of you have forgotten that heritage. Back in the 60s, when I was a little kid, you know, when Martin Luther King was coming strong and everything like that, we had a lot of things to live for then because we had somebody there that we envisioned that was going to help us. And I'm sure your parents know exactly what I'm talking about.
My biggest obstacle was the you're not strong enough. Also, I don't know how much you want to delve into it, but there was a black-white issue. But you can't, if you want something bad enough, you can't let that deter you. You just have to know that you're going to get it. And you will, no matter how long it takes. And also, at that particular time, I was a wife, a mother, and a student, and a worker. And I was tired, let's face it. I was tired. But that determination, that wanting it so bad that you could taste it, just gave you that determination. And then there are the good people, the great people, who saw you trying and said, hey, we're going to show you a faster way, or we're going to show you a better way. And that helped.
Not many people knew that I was a gymnast at first until I started doing well, really well. And they were supportive. They were very supportive. You know, they're like, it's good that you're like the only black girl and you're up there with all of them and you're showing them that you can do it just as good as they can.
I was raised without a mother, and I had 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and it just kind of, you know, I raised myself. Because growing up as a girl, you know, there are certain things that a mother needs to teach a girl, but I had to teach myself. So I just always looked up to elders. I had a great father. Well, you know, I've always wanted to be in show business or be a model or just do something that is out of the ordinary. But now that I have my children, I'm really just trying to live a lifestyle for them, to give them a chance to be what I never was.
My grandfather, okay, the first thing, he's very on education. He's, you know, education's everything. Go to school, go to school. You know, I think that's, when I was in junior high, I used to think, oh, would you leave me alone? You know, now you think about it, he makes a lot of good sense. He's, you know, I sit down and think about a lot of things he tells me, and I'm very lucky to have him.
They just keep on saying I'm a lazy woman, don't love my children, and I'm made to be unfit. I must divorce him, cut all my ties with the consequences that make me sick. It's a hard sacrifice, hard sacrifice, not having me a dominant society gave us no choice. Tried to silence my voice, pushing me on the welfare. On the welfare. I'm so tired of trying to prove my equal rights. Though I make some mistakes, for goodness sakes, why should he help me save my life? Oh, so keep away from it, Mr. Welfare. Did you hear me? Don't you hear me? Oh, Mr. Welfare. Holding me back, using your time.
Take a minute out of their time and really think what they want to do with their lives and see how far they can go for it instead of imagining, well, maybe I won't. Well, maybe I'll try. Not maybe. Try it. You never know.
Find somewhere they can get into drawing, doing art and different things, and starting their own art business maybe.
At high school, they told me learn to type, and I was very good at it. So I went to work at the welfare department. For 4 years, the same window, the same desk, I typed welfare cases. I can tell you welfare stories that'll last till the day I die. And then one day I was typing a welfare case, and I ran across a phrase in the transcription that said, "This is an adequate situation for this family." And the adequate situation they described was a family living in a boxcar. And I remember tears coming down my face, and I went, I can't do this anymore.
You know, you've got that kid to think about. You know, 6 years from now, you want that kid to look at you and say, well, Mommy, what are you doing? Well, I'm on welfare and I don't have any money and I really don't want to work. And I'm not knocking welfare. What I'm knocking is the fact that when they get on the system, they don't know how to get off the system. They depend on that check constantly, and depending on that check, you get lazy. You really do. If you have a check coming in every month that you know you don't have to work for, you can stay home, you can lay up, you can look at television, you can go shopping all day.
I went to one interview, and in the middle of the interview, someone asked me if I was black. I immediately turned my hands over because I thought something had happened in the interview. And they said, well, we weren't sure. I didn't know what that meant. And they tried to play with it, but I was devastated.
I was 6 years old when I first realized what racism really was, that, you know, it's just something that I'm going to have to deal with, and I decided that I was just going to be better than everybody else, and that's how I was going to deal with it. So they can't call you stupid and things when you've got the highest GPA in the class or something. I mean, that's just my way of dealing with it. I'm going to be the best person that I can be, and If they still find fault with me, I say, well, that's their problem. It's not something that I'm doing.
I came along at a time when there were white male senior citizen judges who did not take lightly to seeing a young black woman with a big afro coming into court, who were disrespectful, who did not give me the kind of credibility that automatically was given to a young white attorney, particularly a young white male attorney. So there are changes I see that need to be made, and by my being on the bench, I want to do that. I want to start sensitizing the process.
Once people get to know me, I haven't had any problems, even dealing with people on construction sites, where it's one of the most male chauvinist phases of the business, when you're dealing with people working at construction sites. Usually once they realize that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm in business, then after a while they forget that I'm a female out on the job site, and they just, you know, do what they have to do.
We were always taught that there was nothing wrong with us as people, that the problem was with the people who did not understand the strength and the positiveness of our blackness. And so we went on through all of this back of the bus business. I sat on the back of the bus.
You're just sort of shoved to the side. And you're not done it. It's not being done to you where people can't see it. I mean, it's being done to you in front of professional people, like you are a dummy. So you pay those little dues and you go in the bathroom and you cry. And you don't let anybody see you shedding these tears. But these tears, when you get finished crying and you come out of that bathroom, these tears have given you strength, you know, so you go on.
I mean, clearly my motivation came from my parents, who were very supportive, who said to me as a young black girl, you can do anything you want to do, and we're going to be by you to see that you do it, but nobody tells you no, and the word can't is not in your vocabulary. Okay? So that's real important, family. I see a lot of young people where the family is breaking down, where there's not this sense of support. That's really important. I mean, that establishes who you are.
My family did not have money. I knew I couldn't depend on them for financial support. I had learned that very early, that there would not be any rescuers around to take up the slack. There would just not be any around. My mother was, when she passed out information, she would say that you have to have your own. And that was because my father had lost his sight when I was a junior in high school. So she was real clear of what could happen. There were 10 of us. He was a Ford worker and lost his sight on the line. So she understood that we had to be able to take care of ourselves.
My family is very supportive, my mother and my father, and a few of my cousins. But I ran into a lot of prejudice from I'm not going to say, but some of the people that are close to me in my family that shocked me and hurt me, because they would say things like, you hang around white people too much, and, you know, stuff like that. They kind of hurt. And they even told me that I was trying to be white. And that hurt. But my mom and dad have supported me a lot, and they've helped me through a lot of stuff.
Without support, you know, and, you know, a lot of talking that your parents should give you, you're not going to want to do anything. A lot of people at this school, you know, don't have the same support.
They've really been a blessing to me. They've really kept me going. I remember times when I wanted to give up, and because I had them, that's what kept me alive. And I just love them so much.
My hero is my mom, basically because she's always been there for me. She's my best friend. I can always count on my mom to come through in bad times and the good times. She's a lot of fun to be around too. We like to go out every once in a while and have a good time. She's an enjoyable lady.
If I could say anything about teachers in my past in terms of whether or not they did influence me in one way or another, I really did have some positive role models because they came from black colleges. They had a lot to offer. They were beautiful.
I have a lot of aunts, you know, and they've achieved a lot. To me, they're really, you know, like an idol to me because they've set their goals to one thing and they've achieved them.
We just want to show people that we can do more than just sit around, you know, and just kick it with the friends and everything, because there's more, we can do more besides learning and growing up. We can dance, and people have proven that, such as Debbie Allen. And she's, you know, she's our idol. We look up to her because they told her she couldn't dance because of her height.
You must learn and pay attention to everything around you and grab it up and soak it up and just every minute.
Girls are not just looking at the old traditional roles. Girls will be nurses and guys will be doctors, but girls want to be nurses and doctors.
Well, to me, nothing is a non-traditional job. I grew up in a household where I was told that I could be whatever I wanted to be. So I've never looked at it as far as how many women were doing this or how many men didn't want me to do this. It's always been, if this is what you want to do, then, you know, these are the things you need to know and these are the people to talk to. So I've heard from day one, you know, that I can be whatever I want to be. And I think that's true for anyone. I mean, a lot of people don't hear it all the time, but it's true. Anything out there that you want to do, you can do it. There's always first. Even if no one's done it before you, you know, someone's got to be first. Why not you?
I don't believe that women should have any restrictions because of the fact that they can do anything they want to be. Now we have women in politics, everything. They could do anything they want to be.
I was a seasonal employee. I was on call 5 months out of the year. I did snow removal. I drove snow plow, which is a 3-axle dump truck with a plow on the front, and we would dump volcanic ash or rock, sand. In clear weather, we would do road maintenance, landscape maintenance. It was considerably more physical than this job. The grease and the dirt is something you acclimate yourself to. You can work around it, you can shower, get your nails done, get your hair done. But it's also a job where you have to really use your brain.
And I think more and more women are going to see to it that they take that responsibility of being the best lineman, being the best groundman, being the best manager, being the best engineer, but also having that responsibility of being a good parent.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's where I see myself working someplace in the Congress 10 years from now. If I'm not a congressperson, working in the institution in there. But as I see myself, I can be what I want to be. And possibly 10 years from now, I will be a congressperson.
It's not just a black female. It's what about the future of black people in general? You can't just isolate this woman from the rest of the race. It's not women and children. You have men, women, and children. What is the future? It's left up to her dream.
I think reading, travel, positive responses to negative experiences enhance your ability to dream, and to associate with people who think it's all right to dream, and to recognize that your own life is fulfilled and expanded as you plug into some things that are not yet reachable.
But there's things out there that need to be done, you know, and we have to take care of our own before anybody else will. So I always look toward helping anyone I see coming along, you know, giving people advice, high school, junior high school, men and women, you know, telling them, if this is what you want to be, you know, these are things you have to do, and you're going to want to play and, you know, goof off, but you're not going to reach your goals that way.
I think about my future every minute a lot, because it's coming so soon, because I'm in 12th grade right now, and then the 18th is right around the corner. I think about it a lot.
Dreams are important because the dreams that I have set for myself years ago and even now have come true. If you don't have dreams, you have nothing. That's what kept black people alive. That's what kept black strong women alive.
I think that everyone has to have a dream. Everyone has to set goals for themselves. And I think that you can only go as far as you can dream. So the minute we begin taking dreams for our young people, they have no place to go. That's why people end up in endless, non-directive kinds of activities. They don't dream, and therefore they don't set the kinds of goals for themselves. And I say in this country, regardless to some of the things that people hear, you can almost set any goal that you want for yourself. We're moving into a time where there'll be jobs that we don't even know about. That half the jobs that'll be on the market, we don't even know what they are now because of the technology and the things that are changing. But you've got to start by deciding what it is that you want to do, what your dream is, and then not be afraid to share it with someone.
The future of a black woman. How about President of the United States?
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You've been content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Whoa, did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher, higher than an eagle, with you as the wind beneath my wings.